the last session that we did, this is what we did. No, last time you saw that table that I sent you. Could you understand
Yeah.
this part?
Yes, sir. So can you scroll up a bit? 15.1, the module course.
Ah, this one.
Yeah, the sixth one. Sixth one.
Sixth one. An increase in the policy rate will most likely lead to an increase in business investment in fixed assets, consumer spending on durable, the foreign exchange value of the domestic currency. Yeah. So it will lead to C1, foreign exchange value of the domestic currency, because increase in interest rates will make the currency stronger, and decrease in interest rates make increase in interest rates, more investment, foreign investments will happen.
Okay.
So more, let's say if when we increase more interest rates, more F, FII or else more investments. So for that reason, the currency will become stronger then. Actually, this is little contradictory also. Normally, if there is in interest rate, for example, how do we calculate foreign exchange rate? So if I say $1 is 90 rupees. Now in India, if the interest rate is increasing, let's say to 6%, and in US the interest rate is 4%. So our interest rate is higher, right? So just
Yeah.
calculate this now. Overall, calculate all.
Yeah.
That means, hello, you can hear?
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just calculate this
1.019.
into 90.
91.73.
So this way, now because this interest rate is higher than US interest rates, what happens is rupee is becoming weaker.
Yeah.
Okay, but then at the same time, when interest rate is going up, uh, foreign investments will also come in, which will help the currency to become stronger also. Okay, and when the policy rate is going up, business investments will be less, because you will tend to borrow more and do business when the interest rate is low, not when it is high. Consumer spending on durable goods will also come down, because when there is less interest rates, then you will tend to borrow more.
Yes. So I'm the third one.
Hmm?
Third one.
If the country's inflation rate is below the central bank's the central bank is most likely to, if the country's inflation rate is below the central bank's target rate. If your country's inflation rate is below the central bank's target rate, the central bank is most likely to. So the inflation rate is very less. That means now in this case, if they sell securities, then there will be more uh, cash in the market. Then if they are which means what? If they are selling government bonds, then there will be more. If they sell bond, what will happen? Uh, if they are selling bond, then more
Less cash.
investments. Okay, market will have less cash then. So RBI, when they are selling securities, in government securities, that means government bond, let's say. So when they are selling securities, then more cash will come into the RBI and banks will have less cash. If banks are having less cash, they will tend to give less loans. Okay. Then increase the reserve requirement. No, that they will do when the inflation rate is high. That time they will increase the reserve requirement, because that is the time when they don't want banks to give more loans. Here also, banks will not give more loans in this case also, because cash is coming into the hands of RBI. Then decrease the overnight lending rate. Uh, yeah, decrease the overnight lending rate. So here, when they decrease the overnight lending rate, uh, this is the one.
More.
Decrease the overnight. So interest rates will come down because inflation is less. So this will bring the inflation down. This will bring the interest rates down. So what will happen? Then people will borrow more. So this one only will increase the business when the inflation is low. These two
Okay.
are decreasing the business, no? Because money is moving into the hands of the RBI. So banks will not lend more. This is C. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. You heard about
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Have you understood this one?
Yes. Understood.
Decrease the interest rate because the inflation rate is low. So you decrease the rate so that there is more loan, people can borrow more. These two will not allow people to borrow loan, no? Because if you increase the reserve requirement, then banks will be left out with less cash. If you sell government securities, banks will be left out with less cash. Okay. Whereas here, banks will have more opportunity to sell more loans.
Okay.
What is the next one?
No, sir. That's it.
That's it. Okay. Now geopolitics. Okay. So these all are easy one only. Um, at least theoretically it is easy. Yeah. See, geopolitics refers to interactions among nations, including the actions of state actors, that means national government, and non-state actors, that means corporations, non-government organizations, individuals. Basically, businesses, you can say businesses and governments. Okay. how they interact because of geopolitics. Because of geopolitics, you see companies can leave the country and move away. Like for example, imagine between India and China, if the relationship goes sour, then some Chinese companies may go away. So this like TikTok and all that thing. Okay, so such it impacts businesses. Okay, and also country to country government also certainly, like now there are news that we are going to buy less oil from Russia because of US. These are all what geopolitics.
Yes.
Okay, here a country's geophysical resource endowment may influence its priorities. Uh, for example, a country has mineral resource that lacks arable and arable land need to trade for minerals for food. Okay, so depending upon your country's geophysical resource endowment means what the nature has given to that particular country. Accordingly, also the geopolitics can change or the business can change. For example, now why Trump was eyeing Ukraine because he wanted the earth, rare earth mineral resources, right, from Ukraine. Okay, so such kind of geopolitics, or in Iran, Iraq, people find oil because of which they get attracted to those countries. Okay, and so they tend to export, and such countries also tend to export what they have, and they tend to import what they don't have. Then, like for example, food. Okay, so they all have to cooperate with each other so that they can, get the resource that they don't have. Okay. Soft power. Soft power and hard power. Hard power means military. Military organizations is an example of hard power. Okay, soft power is cultural exchange, is one means through which a country may exercise soft power, which is the ability to influence other countries without using or threatening force. So soft power is cultural exchange. Example, imagine people watching Bollywood movies abroad. That is what will happen then. Culturally, they will get attracted. Okay, so that is soft power. Or in India, people watch Korean, I think some series, Korean series, and all people watch. So that means now we are getting attracted to Korean culture. Okay, Korean style of living, then or Korean food, then people will tend to eat. Okay, then in India we have fried rice. Okay, so this kind of fried rice, I guess that's from China also. So Chinese rice, Chinese food
Yeah.
stuffs we see. So these are all the exchange of soft power. Okay, so we tend to accept other countries' style of living, cultures, their dressing, all these things. So this way, what happens because of cultural exchange, the business also develops better. Then, okay, then globalization, nationalism. Okay, so globalization and nationalism, we will see here. See, this is the most important part, and this meaning is also mentioned here down. See, first one is globalization and multilateralism means what? Multilateralism means you are a global country and you are cooperating with other countries also. Globalization and cooperation. You are cooperating with every country. Okay, now this is the best one, multilateralism. Okay. Then next is bilateralism. Bilateralism means what? You are cooperating, but then not with everybody, only with certain country. That is bilateralism. Cooperation is there, and for with other countries you are opting anti-globalization or nationalism. That means only with certain specific country you will have cooperation, rest all you don't require. That is called bilateralism. Okay. Then
Okay.
nationalism and non-cooperation. So globalization is there, and non-cooperation, that is called autarky. Something like uh, something like that North Korea, I think North Korea or South Korea. I think North
North
Korea.
Korea.
North Korea. Yeah, North Korea. So they have dictatorship, right? So they have dictatorship. So there they opt for non-cooperation and then nationalism. Why? Reason being, if they go for multilateralism and all, then that cultural exchange will happen. Then people will come to know that other countries are having democracy, they are having more freedom and all those things. Then there will be protest, revolt, and all those. So in order to not to let that happen, they will have this anti-globalization. So they will not expose their country to the world. Then non-cooperation will be there.
Yes.
Okay. Then non-cooperation and globalization. Non-cooperation and globalization. Uh, Here, example, US is the best example
Yes.
now, because they are globalized, but still they are not cooperating. Hegemony means it's like, they are big enough, and so they tend to bully other countries. Okay, so dictate other countries. They are not cooperating like the way US is doing now. So they want the world to go only as per what they want. They are kind of indirectly forcing. Okay, so that is hegemony. That is hegemony. So multilateralism means you can include
India
something,
also.
uh, something like that BRICS. BRICS is
Yeah.
multilateralism. BRICS. Okay, so that means they are different associations or groups are getting formed to help each other. Okay. Now that meaning is only um, um, kept here. You can put yourself to mute, Shravani. Yeah. In case if you are not able to hear me, na, then you just then ping me or call me. Then I will also know that you are
Okay.
not able to hear. Okay. Now see this one. It is the same thing. What we have discussed now. Autarky. You should know this terminology. Okay, and it becomes an important topic also, geopolitics, based on what is happening around. So I would say, like, this is an easy subject, easy chapter, easy reading. At the same time, you should be reading this twice, because high chances that this is connected to the current affairs of business, right? So they may ask this question. Okay, this part, you may just take a minute, quickly read this one till here.
Done.
Hmm. Okay, then non-state actors means companies. So they are related to for portfolio investment flows. Okay. So geopolitics also affects in foreign direct investments, portfolio investment flows. Like for example, now there is a lot of pressure on the companies. Uh, Trump is asking companies to invest more in US. So then what will that lead to? So quite possible that they may not invest in other countries. Okay, so that is also possible. Okay. IMF and World Bank. So International Monetary Fund. Uh, so International Monetary Fund, these are their articles of agreement, main goals: promote international monetary cooperation, facilitating expansion and balanced growth of international trade, promoting exchange stability. Okay, then multilateral systems of payment, making resources available. Okay, so this one, what I feel is better you read from Wikipedia or else uh, yeah, from Google. Just first 10 lines you read, that is enough. Okay, just 10 lines about IMF and 10 lines about World Bank, that is enough. Okay, here they have given some idea. Yeah, this is also fine. This one, and then some 10 lines from Wikipedia if you do know, that is also fine. Okay. Then World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization also, here it is not given very clearly. Okay, they have left many things in between here. Okay, but yeah, you can probably read this also, but then read, as I said, 10 lines from Wikipedia. It will be easy only to understand. Okay, basically World Trade Organization is, the purpose is to improve trade relationship between countries. Okay, and this one, IMF and World Bank, I'll tell you when I'll explain the history of exchange rates, how all these forex topics history, that time I'll tell you. Okay, then geopolitical risk. So first one, geopolitical risk is the possibility of events that interrupt peaceful international relations. So why international relations can go bad? So there can be event risk. What does that mean? Refers to events about which we know the timing but not the outcome, such as national elections. That means election. Okay, they have given the example also, elections. So because different people getting elected can change the relationship between country to country. Okay, so that is possible. Then exogenous risk. Exogenous risk refers to unanticipated events such as outbreaks of war or rebellion. It is exogenous risk. Okay. So election is event risk, war is exogenous risk. Thematic risk refers to known factors that have effects over long periods, such as human migration patterns or cyber risk. So these all are happening at a very happening very silently, but over a period of time, it can create problem. Okay, immigration or cyber security risk. All this is called thematic risk. Then rest is not needed. High velocity, low velocity. Okay, you can understand this one. Exogenous risk have high velocity effects on financial markets. Why? Because of war. Okay, war will have uh, high velocity effects on financial market and investment values. Yes. Black swan risk means once in a blue moon kind of risk, unexpected. Yeah, low likelihood exogenous events that can have substantial short-term substantial effects. Okay, so that could be like corona and all, which nobody expected. So tools of geopolitics. So how do they handle geopolitics? So basically, one is national security tools that include armed conflict, espionage. Espionage is spying. Okay, that is spying, then jasusi, and then bilateral or multilateral agreements. Okay, designed to reinforce or prevent armed conflict. That is national security tools. Then uh, then next is economic tools. Economic tools is cooperative or non-cooperative. Examples of economic tools. Okay, it can be cooperative or non-cooperative as well. Examples of economic tools include free trade areas, common markets, economic and monetary unions. Examples of non-cooperative economic tools include domestic content requirements, voluntary export. Okay, this is something we should discuss. Yeah. Okay. Um, economic tools can be cooperative or non-cooperative. Examples of cooperative economic tools include free trade areas, common markets, and economic and monetary unions, each of which we describe in our reading on international trade and capital flows. So, this free trade areas means basically areas where trade
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Ah, one second. Hello. You can hear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not able to quickly.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, how to understand this graph? See, first of all, let me explain this. What is producer surplus and what is consumer surplus? See, imagine this is the demand curve, okay, and this is the supply curve, and this is the equilibrium price. Okay, so at this price, this is the quantity. Okay, so now imagine, let's say this is 100 rupees. In 100 rupees, this much quantity you are supposed to get. Now what happens is, just you think like, you are eating, biryani food. Now there is a hotel restaurant where they have kept price like this here. Okay, let's say something like 400, 500 rupees. Now still there is some demand. There is still some demand. Okay, still some demand is there. So that means, okay, okay, so that means, uh, you know, people, uh, this part, people are ready, actually, uh, okay, this one, okay, this part, uh, acha, so you think like this here, um, you know, at this price, this is the quantity you are getting, you are supposed to get. Now what happens is you are going to a restaurant and you are eating, and imagine after eating you are saying, look, I am ready to pay uh, I am the this food was so good that I was ready even to pay something like 400, 500 rupees. So that means all these are just 1 second, wait, I forgot the graph, 1 minute. Huh. Okay, see that you paid 100 rupees. Hello, you are hearing, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
You paid 100 rupees, but you are saying, look, this was so good that I could have paid even easily, let's say 200 rupees. Okay, 200 or 300 rupees, I would have paid it. The, because the quantity was very good, the quality was very good, I could have easily paid 300. So this part is called consumer surplus. Surplus. Okay, this part is called consumer surplus. That means what you are ready to pay more. Okay, that is called consumer surplus. But so you got this much extra, right? Because you are practically you are going to pay only 100, but you liked it so very much that you would have paid even 300. So this is consumer surplus. Okay, now if you think that from the producer's perspective, he will say, probably he was ready to serve you at 80 itself. Okay, probably he was or probably he could have served you at maybe like 60, 70 itself, but then he served you at 100. So for him, this part is what? This part is producer surplus, because he was ready to serve you at 70 rupees. This is producer surplus. That means consumer surplus means it is the difference between what he has paid and what he is willing to pay. Okay, and producer surplus is producer surplus is uh, at which he was ready to serve and at which he served. Okay, so that means 70 minus 100 or 100 minus 70. This is producer surplus. Okay, you got this idea? Consumer surplus and producer surplus.
Yes.
Okay, now coming to this point. Okay, see. See, imagine this is domestic supply. Okay, supply, and this is domestic demand curve. Okay, so demand curve goes like this, supply curve goes like this. Why? Because this is price. So when the price is coming down, demand will go up here. More demand. Price is coming down, more demand. This is quantity. The price is coming down, more demand. Supply curve, why like this? Because higher the price, higher will be the supply quantity. Okay, that's why it is high. So now We will combine demand curve and supply curve. Domestic demand, okay, DD, and this is domestic supply. Okay, now now the world price, the world, ideally in domestic, if we are not exposed to the world, then this should be the price. But because of free trade, imagine this is the price has come down. Okay, the price has come down. This is the price of the world. You understood the logic behind it. This should be the price, but because it is being imported at the lower price, so the price of the goods has come down. Now if the price
Yeah.
of the goods has come down, in this price the demand is high. Now otherwise this only would have been the demand. Now the demand has gone up, and the supply, here is the supply. So domestic supply is this much. So now what is happening? This much we are importing. This much is getting imported because we need to have this much of quantity, no? But domestically only this much quantity is getting supplied. So rest is all. Uh, so rest is all. What do you say? Rest is all imported. Okay. Okay. Then, uh, then what happens? Let's say government is importing, or government is increasing the tariff. So when government is increasing the tariff, now what will happen? Now the price is going up. So when the price is going up, imagine now this is the new price. When this is the new price, so that means the price has gone up, means some other domestic sellers also will come into the market who are producing at the higher rate. They will come into the market. So more supply is there in the market now, more quantity supply. But then the demand will come down. Okay, the demand is coming down now. Why demand is coming down? Because the price has gone up. So when prices are going up and higher price, more supply will happen. But at higher price, less demand will happen. Okay, so now what has happened? Now the importing is reduced. Earlier we were importing more. Now it is reduced. Why it is reduced? Because there is more domestic supply. This part is more domestic supply. No? Earlier only this much was domestic supply. Now this much. So more domestic supply is happening. However, the demand is coming down here. Okay, demand is coming down. Okay, so that means now earlier what we saw was this upper point was consumer surplus. Consumer surplus. Okay. Consumer surplus. And this lower point is producer surplus. Now here, see, producers are ready to produce at this price also, but now they are producing at this price. So that's why all these are what's producer surplus extra. These all are producer surplus. Okay, producer surplus extra. Okay, and this part, which is getting reduced, this is called dead weight loss. Dead weight loss. Dead weight loss. Okay. So this is what it is. So here, these are all the terms that you should know: consumer surplus, producer surplus, deadweight loss. Okay. So deadweight loss means the loss in demand because of increase in tax. Okay. So this is imports from free trade. This much is import from free trade. And second one is imports from protection. Protection means they are increasing the tariff, so that means government is not allowing free trade. Protectionism is there. Okay. Now this quota rent means it is the opposite of uh, tariff only. So when domestic government does not charge for import license, then that helps other companies to do more exports, right? For foreign exporters, for that is called as quota rent. That means you are exporting something which the other country also desperately needs. So they are not charging any kind of extra, import. When they are importing, there is no import duty and all. So it becomes an advantage for the exporters. That is called quota rent. Now you just read this carefully for a couple of minutes. And then you let me know if you have understood.
So, what does this mean? The dead weight loss is the amount of lost welfare from the imposition of the quota or tariff. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Is it okay? Are you able to understand?
So I didn't understand that one line. The dead weight loss is the amount of lost welfare from the imposition of a quota. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
You read that one?
Yes. So I didn't understand this one line. The dead weight loss is the amount of lost welfare from the imposition of a quota.
Huh,
Second paragraph.
huh. So in terms of overall economic gain from trade, the deadweight loss is the amount of lost welfare from the imposition of quota or tax. Yeah, because of this one, see, government is getting more tax, right? This much is the tax government is getting because this difference in price is what purely because of tax. Otherwise, world price was this much only, which was lower. Okay, and this is protectionism price. So government is happy with this more taxation. But then people who could afford at this price, now they cannot afford. I mean, people who are demanding here at this price, this demand, now they cannot, their demand has come down. Na? So this is the,
Yeah.
this is the laws in this society, their welfare, because they wanted to consume these goods, but the protectionism did not allow them to consume these goods. Say, for example, imagine the price, just imagine the tax, GST tax goes up, uh, for milk consumption. Now, so some people are deciding not to have milk in tea. So that means, there is deadweight loss, is the amount of lost welfare from the imposition. That means you are, uh, spoiling the welfare of the society, right? Could have eaten this or who could have consumed this stuff, but they are not able to consume. So that is the loss of the welfare because of the taxation.
Okay.
Understood this one?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You understood that one now?
Yes.
So that is the loss in demand. Then voluntary export, all this we have already gone through now.
Hmm.
But these are all good to read because all these are very practical, which when you read newspaper, you can come across to all this. Voluntary export, restraints, all these. When you read newspaper, you Yeah. Then these are different uh, trading blocks. We list these types of agreements generally referred to as trading blocks or regional trading agreements. So free trade areas. So what kind of agreement happens? So free trade areas, the export of goods and services among countries are removed so that easily import export can take place. Then customs union. Customs union means the first point will be covered. Plus, along with that, all countries adopt a common set of trade restrictions with non-members also. That is custom union. Okay. Then common market. Common market is first and second points will be included. Along with that, all barriers. So when based on what kind of agreement they are having, these terms will come up. Free trade agreement means free import and export. Custom union means along with free import and export, common set of trade restrictions with non-members. Then common market means along with the first and second, that means along with custom union, all barriers to the movement uh, of labor and capital goods. Okay, all barriers to the movement of labor and capital goods among member countries are removed. Okay. Then European Union. This you must have heard. European Union. European Union means
Yes.
common market. Part of common market. Plus, member countries establish common institutions and economic policies for the union. Okay, member countries establish common institutions and economic policy for the union. So, European Economic Union is the one very popular one. Monetary union means what? Uh, Monetary union means again European, that economic union, plus they adopt one single currency as well for their regions. Okay, so here which currency am I speaking about? Euro. So Euro currency they adopted, right? Common currency for all the European countries. This European, so Euro. So basically, this way they try to keep increasing the trade horizon so that easy trades takes place. Then NAFTA is an example of free trade agreement. Okay, recently India and UK free trade agreement happened. That is also an example. Otherwise, NAFTA is North American free trade agreement. Then European Union is an example of economic union. Eurozone is an example of monetary union. Understood? This is okay?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of problem with the audio in between. But can you hear my voice when I am speaking?
Yes.
Okay. In between, I kind of, I'm not able to hear you then. Okay, you can see the screen now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have any questions on this?
No.
Okay, but you should, these are easy. You cannot ignore also, okay, all these things.
Yeah.
Later on, just you read carefully and then go through this model.
Okay.
then uh, okay, then capital flows and the FX market. Capital flows and the FX market. So the foreign exchange. Okay, so from here on, all forex topic will continue. Okay, I think only couple of more readings should be remaining. Forex. So here, all about forex I need to explain. After this I need to explain all this now. Yeah. After this, some sums will begin. Exchange rate calculations. That is the last one. Yeah, so two readings are there. So reading 18, capital flows and the FX market. Hmm. Okay, so now let me come to the history of forex. Okay, so history of forex is, see, first of all, we started with barter system. Right now, what is barter system? Barter system is that we are exchanging goods for goods. Okay, we are exchanging, so we are taking one goods and we are giving another goods. That is barter system. Now, what was the problem with barter system? The problem with barter system is we cannot quantify it. So when I say we cannot quantify, that means if I'm taking some goods from somebody, I don't know how much return another goods to be given. So that is quantification problem. So say for example, somebody is giving me rice, okay, 1 kg rice, and in return, I imagine I have only all goats and horses with me. So now I cannot give partial goats and partial horses. I have to give entire goats and entire horses. So this is creating quantification issues. So because of which, they felt that there has to be some other medium of exchange. So then people started searching for that medium of exchange. And in that search, they came across to many mediums of exchange. Say, for example, they thought, why not to use seashells? Okay, they used in fact seashells also. So now in seashells, the problem was, just 1 minute. Okay, seashells. Now seashells. The problem with seashells was, like, it was available only for those people staying near the sea. So this did not work. Then they used fruits also. Now the problem with fruits was like apple. The fruits, it will get rotten within few days. So this also did not work. Then they used even salt also. The problem with salt was that when it rains, it gets dissolved in water. So again, it was not useful there as well. Then they used, copper as well. Now the copper, it gets rusted. So it cannot withstand the temperature. So that also then did not work. So like this, searching all different mediums, they came across to gold. Now gold is something which can withstand any weather, be it cold, winter, rain, and also it doesn't matter, if it rains, or it is not going to get rotten like fruits. So then they finally decided on gold, and then uh, so people started using gold as the medium of exchange. Okay, people started using gold as the medium of exchange. Okay, now the next question is quantification of gold. So for 1 kg rice, how much gold should I give? Now, how much gold should I give? That depends upon the availability of gold in different regions. Now, in those time, it was all kingdom, right? So kings used to rule over there, right? So based on the availability of gold in their regions, they will decide. Okay, they will decide how much quantity of gold should be exchanged. So this is what was going on. Then what happened after this? After the invention of wheels, business started picking up. Agricultural business, after people started settling in one place, they understood the power of agriculture, and also after wheels invention, things started moving around little faster. So uh, international business, uh, you know on crops, agriculture started taking place. Then, so that time the problem was, a farmer is producing crops. After that, he will spend months taking it to, in his bullock cart or so. He will take it to the market, which will take months for him to go. And then he will sell it, and then he will get gold. And then that gold, he will take it back to his home. Now, the problem was, this gold, after all this international business, this becomes too heavy to carry. Okay, these are too heavy to carry. So when these are too heavy to carry, so slowly, when the business is developing, now gold is becoming a problem now. So far, it was good when international developments, markets were not taking place. Then it was good to use it locally. But then now we are facing some problem with gold also to take and carry. It's a heavy metal, right? So then further innovation happened. They thought, now what to do now? So what to do? So what is the remedy for this problem? So slowly, they thought, see, for example, imagine if somebody is going from Mumbai to Pune, or Mumbai to Delhi, imagine Mumbai to Pune, okay, Mumbai to Pune. Now, when somebody is going from Mumbai to Pune, or Mumbai to Delhi, and Delhi is too much. Like, let's say Mumbai to Pune. So somebody is going from Mumbai to Pune, and so he is selling his goods over there in Pune. And then what will he do? Because he will come back ideally with gold. Then after a few months, again he has to go, probably with gold, and get raw materials and bring it here. Raw materials and bring it here. Raw materials as in seeds and all those things, and bring it here. So now he thinks that in Pune, imagine he has a friend. Now, so he thinks that, now he has to take gold. Later on, he has to again take gold. I mean, he has to take gold to his home. Then from home, he has to take gold to Pune. Now, there is a friend in Pune. So what he does is he's keeping gold in his home only. Okay, and he says, you keep gold with you. Next time when I will come back, I will take this gold. I will take this gold from you, and then I will buy the raw materials from your city, and then I will go away. So this friend in Pune says, okay, fine, you can put all your gold here in my place. Okay. Then what happens? Slowly. So this kind of culture starts evolving. So you are keeping, this gold in some known places. Okay. Then imagine now this Mumbai guy uh, Mumbai guy has his gold in Pune. Okay, this Mumbai guy has his gold in Pune. Now somebody comes to him and says, for some business reasons, he says, you have to give me gold now. Now this Mumbai guy says, okay, look, I don't have gold now with me, but I have it in Pune. And because you are also going to Pune, why don't you collect it from there? Okay. So now how will this evolve? So slowly, now how will this Pune guy know? How will he trust this guy? Okay. So slowly, then what happened? They started, in written form. They will write things. Okay, they will write. Okay, so this Mumbai guy will sign here that permitting this Pune guy to give gold to him. Okay, so slowly, now this Pune guy is also thinking, why not to convert this into a business, wherein I will keep this gold, with me, and in return I will give a written, a receipt that I'm holding this gold, and then if somebody is coming with that receipts and all, then I will give some gold, I mean, to them. So basically this is acting as a bank now. So what I'm speaking is the evolution of bank. So this is how slowly banks started coming in, and also people understood the power of paper currencies now. Okay, why? Because on the paper only they are writing that this person has this much of gold, and this is the proof I am signing here. So slowly that paper currency started getting used. Okay, so paper currency started getting used slowly. So now this Pune guy, when he is keeping gold, he will write one proof letter and give it to Mumbai guy, and this Mumbai guy will show it to his another friend, and this another friend probably will take that letter back to Pune, and then take gold from him and take it to his home. So like this, paper started accepting as the medium of exchange, and that's how slowly paper currencies, people started thinking about paper currencies. So when paper currency started coming up, then how that evolution happened was they started giving different names in different countries, because that those days all countries were not so highly connected, right? There was no internet as such those days. So okay, so what happened was, mm, um, so say for example in US they gave the name as dollar, okay, for their paper currency. But then this paper currency is backed by all gold only. Still, gold is the base. Just that gold is heavy. They are using paper currency to represent, which represents gold only finally. So still gold is the king. Okay. So they again used this dollar currency, which is the representation of gold only. So how much gold will this represent? So say for example, imagine $1 represents, let's say there they used to call ounces. One ounce represents around 17.5 grams of gold. So 1 ounces, they write like this: ounce, 1 ounce of gold. So imagine 1 ounce of gold is representing $1. Think like this. Then in UK they gave the name as pound. So this pound is representing maybe like 2 ounces of gold is 1 pound. Based on the availability of gold in their regions, they said 2 ounces of gold is 1 pound, and US said 1 ounce of gold is $1. Okay. Uh, no, let me take 1 ounce of gold as 2 pound. Okay, let me take like this. So then now what is happening? 1 ounce, 1 ounce, the right hand side is equal. So if the right hand side is equal, the left hand side is also equal. So these two also should be equal only. So that means $1 is equal to 2 pound. Okay, $1. Okay, $1 is equal to 2 pound. And now you see, now that means comparison started coming up between different currencies. Okay, comparison started coming up between two different currencies. Okay. Two different currencies. So now people started comparing currencies as well. $1 is equal to 2 pound. So this is how currencies also started getting traded. Okay, just 1 minute. I'll plug in the charger to my laptop. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So $1 became 2 pound. Okay. So this is how currencies are also, currencies also started getting traded. Then after this, so now like this, different currencies started coming into the market. Okay. So before independence, our currency, $1, we were in fact stronger than dollar. Okay, but still dollar is not the still dollar is not the super powerful currency yet. Okay, this is just one example I gave you. Why do people always speak about dollar? So we need to think about that as well. So far it was just one currency like any other currency. Okay, then how come it became a superpower and global currency? How dollar became a global currency? Okay, so how it became a global currency? Because um, now you see, during World War One, World War One, which took place from 1914 to 1918. So that time, in before that, all Europe was very powerful, right? Before that, Europe was very powerful before World War. They were building colonies across the world, correct? So during this World War One, uh, Europe lost heavily because they were participating in war, and whoever is participating in war, they are supposed to suffer from losses. And that time, see, so far what happened was, gold was or these currencies were backed by dollar. Currencies were backed by dollar. Okay, currencies were backed by dollar. Yeah. So World War One, currencies were backed by dollar. Before that, yeah, currencies were all backed by, sorry, not dollar, but then gold. Currencies were all backed by gold. So that means you can print only that much currency, to the extent of availability of gold. Okay, you can print only that much currency to the extent of availability of gold. So whatever gold is there, and that much currency only you can print. Okay. So now, uh, okay. Acha, before this World War One also, Industrial Revolution happened. When Industrial Revolution happened, okay, that means the chair that I'm making for one entire month can be made in one day using machines. That is Industrial Revolution. So when Industrial Revolution was happening, that means economy is growing faster. Now economy is growing faster. If economy is growing faster, that means now the value of my company, which was imagine 1 crore today, now in few months or weeks or years, it will become 2 crores. Now that means the company is growing very fast, but will the availability of gold grow very fast? Gold is a natural resources, so it takes its own sweet time to make gold. Earth makes its own sweet time to make gold, right? So there is a disparity between the rate at which economies was growing and at the rate at which gold was growing. So that disparity was there. That is first problem. Okay. And then what happened? This World War One came up. When World War One came up, which happened between 1914 to 1918, now when somebody participates in war, their only first intention is to win the war. Doesn't matter with following rules or without following rules. You want to win the war. That is your first intention. So so what they did was, these European countries which participated in the World War, they started breaking the rule. Okay, so they started breaking the rule because when you are in a war, you want to just win the war, uh, breaking any rule, right? So they broke this rule of currencies, being backed by gold. So they started printing currencies recklessly. When they started printing currencies recklessly, now you are not following the rules of printing currencies as per the availability of gold. You are just printing currencies because you need currencies for buying weapons. Okay, you need currencies for buying weapons, and you want to win the war from all, from all angle, at all costs you want to win the war. So they started printing currencies recklessly to buy weapons, and then they participated in the war, and the World War got over in 1918. After World War One got over in 1918, then people understood the problem of printing currencies recklessly. So what happened? Inflation happened in US. So very high inflation happened in not US, sorry, in Europe. Very high inflation happened in Europe, and they suffered highly that time. So when they suffered highly, uh, then the world started losing the trust in this currency. Why? Because now this country has, broken the rule, and they are printing recklessly. But they also understood that if they print recklessly, then it will lead to very high inflation. Okay, fine. But after that, somehow, still the world was going on after 1980. Then came up World War Two. Now, the World War Two happened between 1939 to 1944. Now, this time again, they broke the rule. Again, they started printing currencies recklessly. Okay, so now by this time, people have completely lost the trust now. Why so? Because now, whenever whoever wants to print currencies, they are printing. Then what is the point of having connection with gold? But by this time, there is one country which became super rich during this World War One and World War Two. The country which became super rich during this World War One and Two, that was US. Okay, so why US became a super rich country? Because they were only supplying weapons to all the European countries who were participating in war. So US was becoming super rich. So when I say super rich, all their currencies were backed by gold. So US had maximum gold reserves at that time. Okay, because they were only becoming super rich, right? So they were backing gold. uh, okay, so they were having enough gold at that time. So US had maximum reserves of gold at that time. Now the fear for US is, what if the world ignores gold? If you ignore gold, then their wealth will become useless. So now they got the pressure that somehow they have to make sure that the gold has its relevance. So they started thinking now what to do. So after 1944, they called up all international leaders, to come to one place in US called Bretton Woods, and they signed Bretton Woods Agreement. So Bretton Woods Agreement. Okay, Bretton Woods Agreement. So yeah, okay. So Bretton Woods Agreement. Okay. Now Bretton Woods Agreement was signed. Now what is this Bretton Woods Agreement? Bretton Woods Agreement means, now here US said, look, see, the whole world was in a question mark, like what to do. Okay, so the currencies, they said currencies were all backed by gold. Now there is a suspicion here. The trust is not there. Okay. Now because okay, yeah. Now because there is uh, okay, okay. So now currencies and then gold. Now the whole world was doubting. So they are not ready to trust currencies, and so now what is the importance of gold then? Okay, so because gold's importance was there only because of the currency, right? It was helping to sustain the importance of gold. Now currencies is losing its value because anybody can print these currencies. So US said that, look, so if you are suspecting currencies, don't worry, or if you are suspecting gold, don't worry. Here you link your currency, okay, with our currency. Our currency is what? US dollar. And we will make sure that our currency is linked to gold. So we have enough gold, large amount of gold with us. So we are properly maintaining dollar as per the availability of gold, and your currency can be linked to uh, US dollar. So anyways, the world did not have any answer about what should be done for this reckless printing of currencies. So they agreed, and for this, US also gave a lot of incentives to these countries. So incentives means what? This is where US formed IMF, International Monetary Fund, and then another one, International, uh, I think some other IBRD, if I'm not wrong, which was renamed to World Bank later stage. So they came up with all these kind of international institutions to help those World War, hit countries. So those countries, so basically they would give more loans to those countries, and then, so the rest of the world also agreed to it. Why? Now it is US's responsibility to make sure that they have enough gold. It is not any other country's responsibility. That is number one. Number two, US was giving them all these kind of additional incentives from where other countries can take loan. Okay. Now this is where overnight US is becoming US dollar is becoming a global currencies, reserve currency. Okay, now so everybody started pegging their currencies against US dollar. Okay, and then but still after this also, it was not kind of still it was not kind of becoming global one. Yeah, but it got a very high level recognition here. Okay, then came the real change, that is in Arab countries, Middle East Arab countries, oil was discovered, right? So when oil was discovered, uh, they needed technology. Okay, and US had technology but did not have oil at that time. whereas Arab countries had oil but no technology. So US entered into an agreement with Arab countries saying, look, I am ready to give you technology. The only condition is that when others are buying oil from you, you should buy and sell oil in which currency? In US dollar. You should buy and sell oil in US dollar only. Okay, this was the condition. Now, the moment this condition was met, okay, Arab countries there, Middle East, they agreed. So now the entire world needs oil, and entire world is buying and selling oil in which currency? In US dollars. So now US dollar became what? A global currency and also reserve currency. Reserve currency means everybody will keep some reserves in the form of US currency. So the demand for US currency started skyrocketing and it became a super global power, okay, or super currency, you can say. And because the demand for US currency went up, so every country would invest in the government securities of US as well. So when they started investing in the government securities of US, then what happened? When they started investing in the government securities of US, the interest rates in the market went down in US. The okay, interest rate in the market went down in US. The the interest rate in the market went down in the US. So when the interest rate in the market went down, when the interest rate in the market went down, so that is good for US because now the companies can take loan cheaper. So companies, when they started taking loan cheaper, and so industries flourished, businesses flourished in US. Okay, so businesses flourished in US because the interest rate is very low. So they all were borrowing money, doing businesses, and international credibility came up. The world became dependent on US currencies. So this is how US became super power. Okay, and then what happened further? So 40s, 1940s, 50s. So after Bretton Woods Agreement, 1945 Bretton Woods Agreement happened. Okay, here 1944 World War II, 1945 Bretton Woods Agreement happened, and then US became your global currencies, and then this buying and selling of oil in US dollar further, it gave a lot of strength, and then naturally US became a reserve currency, global superpower. Then but they also started getting to feel the side effects of this agreement. Now US was growing so very fast that now it was kind of becoming next to impossible to keep enough reserves of gold because US was doing so much of growth. So finally they also could not maintain this gold, because finally, as I said, gold is a natural resources, right? It will take its own time to form, whereas here day and night companies are flourishing in US. Okay, so finally, in 1972, I think 70 or 72 somewhere, at that time, the president of US, I think his name is Nixon, the president of US, he came out and then he said that he is not going to follow this rule anymore. Now the world is free to follow whatever they want. They can keep, there is they are not going to keep this gold as the reserve, uh, uh, as per this gold reserve, they are not going to keep this currency. So uh, so now by that time the world became heavily dependent on US. Now that is the time, so now again the world is in a dilemma. Now what to do now? So that's the time when fiat currency system came up. Before that it was all gold standard system. That means everything was dependent on the availability of gold. Now comes fiat currency system, and we are in fiat currency system only. Fiat currency means our currencies are not backed by any gold now. So every country is free to have their own, um, every country is free to have their own currency. Currency is not backed by anything. Okay, so the only thing that will prevent them from printing more currency is what? Inflation. Otherwise, there is no gold backing required now. Gold backing is not required only. So they will. Every country is free. So every country went, in their own way. Uh, yeah, went in their own way. Okay. Some countries. Okay. So some countries still linked it to US. Some countries, everything became their own, and also, this some people went for fixed exchange rate system. That means, fixed exchange rate system means when they pegged it to US, so $1 is so and so, their country's exchange rate, which was fixed, which was followed mostly in Arab countries, Middle East countries. Why they followed fixed exchange rate system is because, uh, they are selling oil to the world. So it's like, imagine you are having a restaurant. Now if you keep changing your meals price every day, it will impact the demand. Customers wants to see fixed price, even though raw materials price will keep changing, but customer wants to see fixed price. Similarly, it's like they are selling oil to the world, so they want oil's price to be constant. So they and they are buying and selling in dollar, so they kept their currency, as fixed exchange rate system. And then some other countries like, Japan. So this is all Middle East countries. Then some countries like Japan. Now it is highly fully exporting countries. So they wanted their currencies to be weaker, because then only they can export more. So they kept their currencies weaker. And countries like India, we have, because we have all sort of seasons over here. We have both import and export. We used, or we went for floating exchange rate system. Floating exchange rate system. So different countries went for different exchange rate. Okay, some went for floating, some went for fixed, some went for, like, many varieties are there within that also. Pure floating, managed floating. Pure floating means, as in, purely market will decide. Managed floating means, uh, the central bank will keep managing it. Okay, they will influence the exchange rate. So all these varieties of exchange rates also are there now. Okay, but everything is fiat currency only. All, nothing is backed by gold. Everything they are running on their own. Okay, so this is how fiat currency came into existence. Okay, so here, um, you can read probably this part again. I will be explaining this part, but I just went little ahead. uh, uh, Countries that do not have their own, this part you may read, do not have their own currencies, they use dollarization. That means they are still continuing to use dollars only. That is also possible, but the only drawback here is, then they have to follow US's monetary policies. Okay, they cannot have their own monetary policy. Some countries are following this way also. Okay, then similarly, countries that have their own currencies, then there are many ways here. Currency board arrangement. Then, so here, fixed exchange rate will be there, like this Hong Kong currency, and only issued with, when fully backed by holdings of an equivalent amount of gold. So this they are following still. Okay, gold is the backup for them. Based on the availability of gold, the currencies will be maintained in Hong Kong. Okay, so everybody is following. All varieties are there now. See, then conventional fixed peg arrangement. That means a country pegs its currency within margins of one percentage moving around. That way they have pegged. Pegged means, remember I told, linked to. So it is linked to one to two, 1% changes. Some country will opt for more, freedom there. See, 2% changes target. So within 2% changes, they will peg it. Okay, then
So
crawling peg.
when we peg to another
This also,
currency,
when you, based on this, when you read this page, you should be able to get it now. Okay.
hello,
Management of exchange within crawling band, managed float exchange rate. Okay.
hello.
Uh, Fine. Okay. So what you do, you just go through this. I think I have to get into another session now. But then you just read this part once. So
Okay.
next time, again, I will continue from here. It will take a little bit of time only. But when you read now, you should be able to understand this part. Okay. And then we can continue with rest of the topics.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. I'll just reconnect again. Wait. Have you understood what I was- Hello, have you understood whatever I was explaining?
Yes.
Okay, so what
So
you
I
do?
just had a
Uh,
question. So when we peg to another country's currency, do we have to adopt their monetary policy? Like, do we have to match their inflation rate, target inflation rate?
no, no, no. If you are using their currency, then only. Okay, if you are
Okay.
using, if you are fully using their currency, that is called dollarization. That time you are supposed to use their monetary policy. Okay, otherwise not. So in floating, like ours floating, the market will decide based on demand, supply. Market will decide the exchange rate. Now for us, we don't have to think about US's monetary policy. Okay,
Okay.
but some countries which are using dollarization, which are some underdeveloped countries. Let me see. Let me check. Because those are all underdeveloped countries. I don't remember their names also. Let me see one example. I'll quickly Google dollarization country. Uh, See, there are countries. I can see here Ecuador. Okay, I'll just show it. Wait. Uh, I'll just share the screen. So these are some countries where dollarization is there. Now their monetary policy has to be, they don't have any own monetary policy as such because they are using dollarization. Na? So
Yeah.
whatever is happening in US, accordingly they have to play out. So these are those countries.
Okay.
Okay, we'll stop now here. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
So